So this is a short video to show you data cloning, where you can create multiple copies of useful and rare data inside a database or into other databases. So you create identical transaction streams with full cross-application integrity. As you're moving the data, you can also mask and enhance the data, maybe updating some dates, for example, as it moves between environments. I'll show you how to quickly build a data clone. It takes less than a few minutes to do it. You can then use it to copy data from one environment to another, extract data, and move multiple copies to other environments, even if the structures are different, i.e. you've got a few extra columns in your target environment. You can minimize interruption to other developers as specific rows are cloned and other testers are not impacted. The real point of this is you can copy rare. So for example, you might have a long chain history. There's only one or two examples of, and you need 10 or 20 copies of it. And also the ability to copy data that is causing a problem or bug data, so you can recreate the bug in lower development environments. So this is the database we're going to be working with, and what I need to do is to clone some suppliers. This is our entity relationship diagram, and we've got 4 tables that we're interested in. So now we go on to our Activity Explorer and we add an activity called data generation, and I'm going to follow along through the prompts. So that's the definition we're working with. We're going to create a new rule set, and we're going to choose the tables I'm interested in, which are the 4 of them, and then I'm going to go to the data activity. Now in the data activity you'll see rule set accelerators, and we're going to convert this particular data generator into a database clone. We're going to tell it where we're going to get the data from. You can obviously override this later. Now I need to give it my selection criteria, so I'm going to call it par supplier IDs, and I'm going to specify the where clause on the driving table. In this case we're going to use an in statement. We're going to run that, and that will convert this to a clone. So let's take a look inside the generation rule set. Now we've defined all the variables for you. Think of it as the plumbing. This is all done automatically for you, so don't have to worry about it too much. Now what we've also done is I've come in and just made a small change here. So into our data painter, and you see I've just added clone of, so we know where the clone actually came from in our source system. Now you could also go through and adjust dates, maybe reorganize which products you want to assign them to in the target system, and you could also add in any masking you want. Now let's go off and run it. We've created a little form. Before we do, let's just see what we've got in our source system. So let's pull out number 7, Lightware Inc., and fire that off, and we're going to create a clone of that in our OT Dev 2 system. And that's finished. We can go and have a look at the results. So that's created number 15, clone of 7. Let's go and have a look at our target environment, and you'll see we've got the same number of purchase orders, purchase order lines, and transactions. So you can also use clones as part of your environment setup. Here what I'm doing is adding in clone of customers. I've got 2 very rich customers, 1 and 2, and I'm going to create 100 copies of them. Now that means that in effect each developer would have 1 or 2 customers of their own to play with. You fire that off, and what you'll end up with is the 2 customers, and you'll see multiple clones, each with their own individual customer IDs. So I'll just finish with a quote from one of our customers. Cloning data lets us recreate bugs in lower environments very quickly. Previously we would have had to manually try and create similar data by hand and hope for the best that we'd fix the bug.